stages startup and how to avoid a mistake that takes you a lot of pain when you start a business. So Aaron will give you tips on how to avoid those kind of mistake in starting up a business. So Aaron is the founder and head coach of startup Start Result. Think Result, and Start Result, and Think Result. So without further ado, I will love to present Aaron because he has a lot to say in these talks this afternoon. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Santi. I'm the new events manager. I will replace Julie. So this is kind of new role for me, so I learned a lot. Thank you so much for coming to this evening, this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Thank you for that introduction. And yes, we are all kind of learning. I've been here for a while, but I still make mistakes. So I think you did much better than me the first time I was here. Well, welcome everyone. And welcome to Genius Cafe. I might also say, I think you have special promotions later if they stay for Makan.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we all give you the voucher that you can use at the cashier and get the 30% discount for a non-member and 50% discount for members and Indonesian. The one that hold the Indonesian ID. Like.
Yep. Excellent. And I'll remind you guys later. So the food's really good, really healthy. Okay, so let's get into it. Is that okay? Who here is actually at the workshop? Because I'm seeing people there, looking, but who's listening? All right. The ones who are like really enthusiastic have been with me for the last how many hours? We've been doing this for a few days, so not that I apologize, but don't just ignore them, okay? Just ignore them. They're clients and they're friends and they're just crazy. Oh, what have I created? Okay, so 3 stages. Before we get into it, look, I really, really appreciate everybody's time, and you soon see I speak to people, but if I see even like the person at the back starts looking, my voice just will carry them because I mean, I'm African, I like to engage people. But sometimes it comes across a little bit politically incorrect. But who can tell me what politically incorrect is if you're not in the tribe? If you're not a client, raise of hands, show of hands, hey, look who's here. So yeah, see, more people who've been with me for more hours. But who, what was I talking about? Politically incorrect. Who can tell me what politically correct is? Someone with a name like Christine? Nah, it was covering. Yes?
I'll make it up. Politically correct, saying the right thing and that doesn't offend anyone.
Give me an example.
Like using the cartoon on the screen instead of saying Christmas, saying holiday. Yeah.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you. Are you from Australia? Whereabouts? Canberra. Canberra, mate. And you're from? Australia as well. Are you from Canberra?
No, we've not lived together.
Okay. Can I be with you guys? Yeah. Awesome. Just kidding. Nice to meet you, James. Yeah, I lived in Australia. So,
Aaron, sorry. We have the mic because this is recording, so whoever wants to talk, we have the mic.
oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, grab the mic. So, okay, I don't know what we were talking about. Canberra, politically incorrect. Yes, politically correct. So, when someone says something really nice, one of the best politically correct people I know in the world who's amazing at it is Obama. No matter what situation, he finds a way of saying things so nice. And I just like, oh, sweet sound to your ears. You know, you just want to hug him. He's just an amazing guy. And I aspire one day to be more of an oratory skilled like him. But my style, however, is politically incorrect. Thank you. Thank you for that. And Australians love it too, but some other cultures don't love it. So let's just talk about that early. It's just what I find in business is, have you found, let's just say you're really passionate about business, and you have this great idea, and you go share it with someone, and then that person says, that's a dumb idea. Who's ever had that experience? Okay, you guys haven't been pitching enough. It's just not everyone's going to like your idea, right? It doesn't matter what you do. Other times, you're just a vegetarian, and they don't like you for that. Now, for some of us who are a little bit chocolate-skinned, they get offended by that too. So I had to make a decision. I had to make a what? Good. that I'm just going to do me, and I'll let the world do the world. And somewhere in between, I'm going to find some amazing, crazy people like these guys who you're hearing going, woohoo! You know these people? Because I'm a little bit like that myself. I'm totally inappropriate, socially inept, and sometimes I'm trying to be slick, but I'm just nerdy. And, you know, but we're here to have a good time, aren't we? In life. So why that's important, though, is that if you don't learn to stand for something, you're going to fall for everything. You can write that down. Might change your life. Yeah? You got to stand for something. Because if you don't, you're not going to be a very attractive business owner. Who raise your hands if this resonates, like what I'm saying. Like you just have to stand for what you believe in. Like, this product's going to work. I'm going to make it work, da-da-da-da-da. But sometimes you piss off a few people, and that's okay. So first I'm going to talk about the big problem. I know we're in Bali, and everyone's encouraged to be eat, pray, love, open chakras, and positive, and everything's okay. There's no weeds, and business is easy. Right, everything's a holiday, you know. It's America, okay. No Americans in the room? I hope. Americans are like, what you talking about? There's nothing wrong with that. Hi. There's nothing wrong with, see? I just did it. I'm like, spotted someone with a name tag all the way there. But let me tell you why we have to talk about the problem. It's just, I don't coach normal people, as you can tell. I coach advanced learners. Let me explain what an advanced learner is. Hello, Bakabat. Yeah, yo, Scully. So, advanced learners are people who don't mind a little bit honesty. They don't mind a little bit of, hey, man, if you don't go out there and do what you got to do in your business, you're going to go under. You better change your habits. Advanced learners love that sort of feedback, right? Someone who wants people-pleasing, though, or politically correctness, wants to hear what they want to hear. But who here has been told, like, if you keep eating chocolates, it's nice, but you might put on weight, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just if you want to lose weight, that's probably not the right advice. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, guys? So here's why I love business coaching. I love business coaching outside life coaching. Nothing wrong with life coaches. It's just, for me, I like to be a little bit firm but kind with people. But the only way I know you're going to improve is if you have an urgency to improve.
Yeah, okay.
Is this making sense? So if you don't really have an incentive to change your life, most likely this workshop will be a waste of your time. And I don't want to waste your time. Why? Honestly, guys, you can make money, lose money. You can have a girlfriend, lose a girlfriend. I did that. You can do whatever, but one thing none of us ever get back is time. True? That's the most valuable resource there is on the planet, I think. And for that reason, I want you to know I appreciate all of you for making the time to listen to this crazy African guy here. But for that reason, I also want you guys to make an investment today of really taking yourself seriously and really listening to what I'm saying from a point of view of like, okay, if this brother's right, and I can Google him and see the results that he has, and those things he's talking about are things I'm not doing enough of, but I know if I did, it would change my business, I'll take it on. But here's the challenge. Most of us love change, but most of us don't want to change. This is my biggest challenge in coaching. So I just a bit masochistic in the sense like I like my coach when he kicks me in the ass and goes, you loser, you're gonna like lose Africa. I'm like, I'm gonna show you, you know, and I go out and get stuff done. That just works for me. But yes. No, all of us want change. For example, I think I could get a little bit skinnier. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's true. That too. But the fear change is the second part. The one change is the first part, which is all of us want more money. Who here would like to make a little bit more money in their businesses if you have one? I hope everyone puts up their hand because salaries cost. Taxes, they keep going up. Food keeps going up. So you got to make more money to match that, right? Nothing wrong or right about it. It's just the truth. Is that fair, guys? But if that's true, we all need to change something to increase those sales. But if you don't want to change, that's not going to change. So the only way to change something, you can write this down, might change your life, is you got to raise your necessity. You got to raise your? The only way to raise necessity is to acknowledge there's a problem. Right? Because if there's no problem, there's no problem. Why change? So I had to put that back in there, but I'm offending some spiritual people in Bali because they want to acknowledge there's nothing wrong in the world. It's going to send out some negative vibrations into the universe and the galactic fields. I get it. I understand that, but that's not my intention. My intention is just to help you raise your necessity before I share some content. Because if I share some content without you acknowledging you need to change, it's just a lot of ranting. I do that too, but we can do that over a beer or something, yeah? Number 2, great companies. I'm going to talk about the difference between a startup and a great company. And I want you to make a decision today, hopefully, to not waste your time building something that's riskier when maybe just being a digital nomad is better. One of them has a different lifestyle, a different responsibility. Who agrees with what I'm saying? Being a freelancer and building a company with people is very different in tension, yeah? And I think somewhere in this entrepreneurial lifestyle where you just become unemployed, anyone can just buy themselves a t-shirt for $10 and register a LinkedIn account and you're an entrepreneur, off you go. But that's not what an entrepreneur is. You understand what I'm saying? But, yeah, that's all I'll say about that. 3 stages. There's only 3 stages to business. No, Aaron, it's a bit more complicated than that. Yes, it is. But if you can simplify it, doesn't make it easy, though. Let me just put that out there. 3 stages is all you need to know today, but it doesn't mean it's easy. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. But if you stick to simplicity, you're just not going to waste your time majoring in minor things. I can't tell you how many of us major in minor things. Successful people, guess what they do? They minor. Sorry, was that English? Just kind of flipped in Bahasa into something else. They major in major things. That's the difference. Then we'll talk about, well, how do you win this business game? And then I'll share a little bit about that. So, everybody stand up. Do me a favor. Before we get into this whole thing, try and meet someone you've never met before. So you two can't talk to each other, James, Christina, I know where you live. And share one thing you'd like to get out of today's session. What would you like to learn from today's session? And if you're in the workshop, come closer. I don't bite. I spit, but I don't bite. So come closer. Come closer. Make a picture, make a picture. Who here met someone interesting? Put up your hand. You better put up your hand, because that's saying something about your friend. I don't think it was interesting. What are you saying about me? All right, cool. Well done. So let me just help you with something. I can't tell you how many people over-constipate themselves. That could be politically incorrect, but I'll use it anyway. About how do we network? Let me give you an answer. You just did it. It's that simple. God forbid the person you met becomes a client, becomes a partner, becomes someone who could change your business. So I'm a very subtle but intentional person with everything I do in my workshops. I pack 10 lessons each slide. That's just the way I work. I'm obsessive compulsive. Yeah? OCD probably. So be aware that when I ask you to do an exercise, it's not to try and force you to get off your chair because you just had lunch. It's actually to just help you get out of your head and start practicing the basic fundamentals of business that actually matter. Remember what I said, most people in startups major in minor things. You need to get outside your comfort zone and get outside your little world and network of your relatives. That's not your market. You gotta get out there, not just stay online and Google Analytics. No. The Millionaire Next Door, who's read that book? You could be living next to a millionaire, you don't know it. Yes, yes? Cool. Oh, yes was for the people who know what that's about. Got it? Yeah, ooh, that was close, yeah. You guys can brief them later. Okay, so let's talk about the big problem. Is that okay? Ubudians and Balinese people, okay. We need to talk about a problem, but there's also a solution in the problem. Who's ever played jigsaw puzzles and stuff? Me too. Who's ever noticed you don't have a picture, you don't have the corners, it's really hard to do, right? Business is the same. But then when you get the picture, you get the corners, and then you start working on it, nobody wants to help you. It's too much work, too many pieces. But once you start finishing, everyone goes, hey, here, let me help you out. You know. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. The more successful you become, hey, Mary, you made it. I'm embarrassing her now. Awesome, it's my sister. Yeah, she is like badass jewelry person, guys, crushing it on Spotify, crushing it. I want her money. Anyway, so big problem. The big problem is this. I just saw someone with a smartphone. I love these things. Smartphones? iPhone, yeah? That's why I was talking about it. I queued her up. You can buy one of these things, get an app, right? Let's just say you're lonely and you're needing a friend or extra XX person, or you know what I'm saying? You just hit Tinder, ding, and within a couple of hours, you could be meeting someone. It's fast. It's what? It's fast. You could want to start a business. You go and talk to my, what was your name again? Linda, who does web development. Just give her a call. She'll flash up something on WordPress or whatever. What do you use? Okay, I'm going to talk to you. So, you could have a website up and running and hand out business cards, print them out from China, off you go. Ding! Downloaded, right? You could go and want to get fitter, lose some weight, download 7 minutes. I have it on my phone, but I don't use it. Ding! You got your exercise packages. So, we are now taught instant gratification. The problem, though, guys, is we're living in, that's supposed to be, could you get someone to help me with that? I'm lifting the bottom again. So I was right at the beginning and I forgot. Just someone to lift that up a bit. We're just living in chaotic times. If you turn on the TV, I don't have a TV, but if you have one, I'm sure it's still the same as it was when I threw out that TV. Is there a little bit of bad news on TV? Or is it great, positive? Yeah, bagus. Makasih. Yeah? Is it good news or bad news? Friends? Imagine, it hasn't changed for 10 years. It's crazy. So, they're teaching you to think bad and then think negative and think the world's bad. You won't go talk to your neighbor. You think he's a terrorist or something. Yeah? So, these chaotic times are causing a lot of disengagement. There was a poll that was done, I think it was mainly in the US, but it said 87% of people are disengaged with their jobs, disengaged with life, disengaged with their businesses, disengaged with their wives, their husbands, their friends, community, etc., etc. Disengaged. But what do you mean, Aaron? I have 10,000 friends on Facebook. You see the problem? Just because you have likes doesn't mean you're connected to your client. Beware, mother bear, as they say. Because we're still dealing with human beings, but most of us think, I hope that's not me making that, because that would drive me insane. Yeah? So you just have to be careful to really be able to appreciate that just because you can download an app doesn't mean you're skilled in business. Write this down. Business is a practitioner art. You have to practice, not download the skills. I'll say that again because some of you missed it. You have to practice, Eri, entrepreneurial skills. It's not just the t-shirt. You understand? This is instant, but the bank account takes time. Wait, you got a better one. I know. But you're doing really well. I know your details. I know your details. Anyway, so here's what's so funny now about this platform era we've got ourselves into, the internet era we've got ourselves into. 75% of startups are failing who are financed over 1 million smackaroos. What does that mean? Money is not the problem here. We're failing faster because we're being incentivized to download things and scale before we have something qualitative to scale. If you resonate with what I'm saying, just put up your hands because I don't want to lose too many people. Okay, apart from the clients, of course you get this. They've been brainwashed for like 45 hours. Look, it's just what I'm trying to tell you. If Uber had a money issue, the CEO and the founder should still be running his own company. He's not. Because the real business people took over. You understand? There's nothing rocket sciencey about it. It's just they put in money, they worked for it, they understood how to run a real business. He was scaling and getting spread out so people saw him, but there were no systems in place. There was no leadership in place. There was no skills in place. There was just technology in place. Is this making sense? So those of you in the tech industry, just check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because you can fail faster with money. Is that clear enough? And I know that doesn't sell. You want me to tell you everything's simple. Here's the hack and hack. There's some hacks like gravity. You can hack gravity all you like, but if you jump off that building, you're going to break your leg, at least. Yes or yes? Spiritual people in the room. Oh no, I think in my other dimension, I get it. But it's just in this real world which requires hardcore effort, you gotta know that. But there's smart ways of doing that, like getting guidance from someone that's failed probably more times than you to suggest you don't go make the same crazy ass mistakes. That's why I'm here. But some people don't want to hear that because it's a little bit too mature. They want the get rich quick thing. They want it fast and easy. I wish it was like that for me to get a six-pack, guys, but I know I have to go to the gym minimum 5 days a week. And then in 3 to 6 months, I will get that six-pack. But if I don't do that, I am kidding myself watching a gym movie thinking it's the same thing. So what am I saying? Who here has watched the Steve Jobs biography movie? Okay, all of us, I hope. If you haven't, check it out. It's very inspiring. It goes for 1.5 to 2 hours. But most of us watch that and we expect the same result in life in 1.5, 2 hours. That's not how it works. It took him 20 years. Dua puluh, if you're Indonesian. Yes? 20 years? Ah, but that's not fun. I don't have that much time. Okay, start early. You know? So, is this like too hard? Or, I mean, I'm checking with people in the room. If you want it softer, I can really baby you into it if you want. So, here's where the confusion starts. First, it starts with people getting into startup industry. Guys, it's so sexy. I get flown around everywhere. I'm a startup coach. Ooh, that's cool. But when I was a startup coach 10 years ago in Australia, why are you taking that much risk, man? Right? Oh, my daughter can't be with you. She can't settle down with someone like you. We need security. We need security. Now, everybody is a startup. Something. You know? So, just be aware it's trendy. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm telling you, the minute the GFC hits, which I'm looking forward to, listen to how crazy that sounds, the real startups kill it. Because they've got the skills to navigate. And they're not in it for the short term. They've been in it, well, it's a career choice, actually. Is this making sense? So, you just need to ask yourself this question. If you're in a startup, do you know the true definition of a startup? So let me just educate you. Actually, Amit, could you help me read that for me? Because you know my situation is of interest.
You want me to just read what it says? Startup is a new business project designed to search for a reputable and repeatable business model. Super high risk in nature.
Okay, great. Which part doesn't sound nice? The top part or the bottom line? Did you hear that? Let's say it louder because some people don't get it. Which part sounds nicer? The top part or the bottom line? Oh, sorry. The tougher part, the top part or the bottom line? Okay, you get it? I coach people here, but people sell you here. Nothing wrong with that. It's just I'm telling you, you better know that if you're not if you're risk adverse, don't do it. Don't do it. Stay in a nice job, get paid, have holidays, weekends, complain about your boss and the government and Donald Trump and I'm so tired. That's what employees do. It's a good life. I missed it. I miss it. I used to have a nice brown African ass like this because I never had to work for it. Now I get into business, I work my ass off. It's gone. It's gone. I think I'm going to lose my hips soon at the rate I'm going. It's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Crazy people. But you get me? It's just we laugh because it's true, isn't it? This is the truth. And I'm here to tell you the truth. Why? I want the real entrepreneurs to be successful because then you become one of these social entrepreneurs that really have an agenda to make a difference in the world. We need you. But you got to go in with your eyes open. And if you don't want to take risks, you're going to it's the wrong number. You understand? Don't get faked out by startup weekends, 54 hours, and think that's your business done. No, you just begin after that. Or after you get your T-shirt. Is this too strong? I'm just saying, I can't tell you how many people just don't get it. Oh, look at the time. Okay. So this is me in 2000. Who'd like to hear my story if you haven't heard it? Some of you have heard it already. No, you've heard it like a million times. You're bored. Steven's so funny. Okay, I really have to, look, I don't want to share it too much for you guys. It's probably more entertaining for me than it is for you, but whatever. So I was a farm boy from Zambia. I was from where? Zambia, I have a brother here from Zambia, yeah? He came to our boot camp and he found me through some link that just said Zambia and boom, we met. The world has changed. Zambians can afford travel. It's so cool. You know, so this technology helps. And he's doing amazing things. Just have a chat to him. He's amazing. And you got coaching from John DiMartini as well, right? And so did Lisa. Guys, this was my coach back in the days. So what am I trying to tell you? Everything I'm saying to you, if it sounds smart, it's not mine. I got it from my coaches. But if you don't like it, blame my coaches. All right? So anyway, moving on. 2000, I went there. But I went there, guys. People see the smile? Yeah. They like it, but you don't understand behind that smile is pain in my eyes from working my fucking ass off. I swore there's the first F, politically incorrect. I worked so hard on a farm because we had to learn to eat. We had to learn to eat. We had to work to eat. Yes? And here's where I lose some of you. And you need to write this down. The enemy of a great life. Is it Chinta? Yeah? Come tema. Oh, sorry, you Spanish? Where are you from? You're Australian? Yeah. Oh, wow. You know what Chinta means, guys? You don't know. Can you tell them it's such a nice name?
Love.
It's love. You want to say something? You know Chinta, though. Yeah. Yeah.
In Hindi, it means worry.
It means worry. Well, I can actually spin that and connect it back, but I won't do it today. Trust me, everything's connected. That's what I'll say. Talk to Stephen about that. He'll tell you what I mean. Okay, so moving on. Moving on. Thank you for that spiritual session. That was amazing. I love Bali for that. So, what was I talking about? Farming. The enemy of a great life is a good one. Guys, I never had a good life, so I just outwork most of you in this thing. I'm not the smartest, I'm definitely not the tallest, and I'm definitely not the lightest, okay? But those three things, thank God, don't measure up when it comes to business success. That's what I love about business. It's an equal playing field. Gender rights, please, it doesn't count here. If you work hard, if you niche your markets, if you do this and this and this, you will win. But unfortunately, 10,000 hours is required. It's called mastery. It's a practitioner sport. I know it doesn't sell. I'm sorry. But if you put in those hours, you will win. Consistently. You understand what I'm saying? So I just don't get camped into the feminism park, Black Panther park. I just go, let's just make some money, baby. Let's travel together and enjoy life. But to do that, let's earn the right. Is that okay? Just earn it. It's not like complicated. But I can't know, but Aaron, what about retrograde? What about Kitas? What about, I'm like, look, it's going to come up, but that's not the main issue here. Yeah, but women don't have rights. We got to work harder than men. That's true. But if you work harder than that man, you will get that job. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. Yeah? So in 2000, I just came with strong work ethic from a farm. In a couple of months, I got promoted from dishwasher, $7 an hour. In fact, it was free to start. This guy got me the job. He was Chinese. He spoke Chinglish. He called me Alon. And he said, Alon, if you work harder than that surfer guy who keeps surfing, you're going to get his job. Guess what happened? I got his job. 6 months later, I was doing the restaurant, management of the food. He taught me that. And then I started running the floor. Then I started running the cash. But here's where I want to just give you a clue there. On farm, when we finish selling the cabbages, when we finish growing the cabbages, we harvest and we sell them. Money is the same everywhere, isn't it? It's numbers. So here's some information for you. Success is a numbers game. But my question to you now is, what are your transferable skills? I spat on you, I warned you, yeah? What are your transferable skills? Some of you move into business and you want to get into cryptocurrency, mobile phone apps, and you're losing out on all those 10,000 hours you did in your previous career. You're not transferring them into a business, i.e. you're not competitive. You can't match me in talking like this. I've been born African, man. I can talk underwater. But I was coaching my communities. Ask Mary. We're looking after kids and parents. We're negotiating up, down, line, cross line. You know, Western kids don't get a chance to leave their house. We live outside the market. So why would I go and get into an introverted industry? You get my point? I'm losing out on that. Number two, I sold cabbages, commodities, cabbages, clients in coaching. No difference. Just transferred that. so I can come in here rather than start from zero, get 10,000 hours to be good enough to even start making money in it. You see the problem with jumping into fads, guys? Beware. You don't have the hours. Steve Jobs did the hours, so by the time the home computer was around, he crushed it. He didn't just get into a lucky streak. You need to read behind the lines. Look at your faces. You're like, oh, really? Yeah. So 2000, I brought the work ethic to the restaurant, and that's how I got promoted to manager. But along the way, this crazy government in Australia stopped paying you for certificates. I'm like, oh, you have to go get this qualification to manage food. I'm like, this crazy country, the government pays for stuff? This is amazing. How many more courses can I get? I went online, found out what I could do. I did them all. By the time I finished, I was overqualified. But something interesting happened. My boss saw me work so hard, started managing people. I didn't get paid for it. And write this down, guys. I want you to stop asking for money too quickly. You're like, Aaron, no, but what do you mean? Let me tell you why. Invest your time. Because, and work harder than most people. Oh, but that's not balanced. I'll explain that in a second. You're making an investment in your future. You're making an investment in your future skills. But you're not putting in enough hours. You can't get that good. Me, I put in 60, 80 hours there. By the time I finished, I was running the whole company. And of course you'd give me the job. I was more responsible. I showed up on time. In fact, I couldn't afford a home, so I actually just slept in the restaurant. It's like, hey, I'm here. Oh, you're early. I said, yeah, something like that. You know. Remember, the enemy of a great life is a good one. Anyway, so when I got those qualifications, something really interesting happened. I was like, hey, I'm African. I got help to get into this country. Who else can I help? Who else can I help? There was something like 100,000 African refugees coming into Australia back then. And I was like, they probably don't have qualifications. They also probably can't get a job like me because I'm black, I'm Aboriginal, whatever was going on in my head. So I said, I'm going to open a company just to help them. Social enterprise. Here's what's so funny. I opened this crazy company. Within 6 months, I was making $1 million in sales revenue. Insane amount of money. I've never seen that sort of money in my life. I started sending money home. I bought myself a Porsche. I bought myself friends. I bought myself a house in Clovelly Beach. You know where that is? Clovelly Bondi Beach, yeah, eastern suburbs. I bought myself, where do you live in Australia? Where do you live? I like Terrigal. Come on, pick up yourself. Dude, I love Terrigal. Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see, the Africans are traveling, man. I'm telling you, we're moving. So anyway, Terrigal, awesome. So I won't tell you a story in Terrigal. I was in a pub there, but that's another story. That wasn't me. So long story short, guys, I became so successful financially, I started to identify myself as Aaron, the guy with the Porsche, the house, and the pretty wife person, right? And then I stopped doing the things that got me there. I stopped hanging out with my community. I stopped helping people. I started waiting for validation from other people to tell me I'm successful. I don't know if you've ever been there and lost a couple of businesses. That shit can fuck you up. So, guess what the universe had in mind for me, spiritual people? If your level of bank account is here, but your level of your personal development is here, guess which one moves? The money always matches your personal development and your self-worth. I lost it all. In fact, I did better than that. I owed the government $500,000. Google it. That was intense. Who here's got debts? Get over it. 500,000. Jeez, amazing. And then I did even better. My wife left me. Yeah, success story, right? I got homeless. And guys, I share this with you because some of you know my story. I had a son. I was so ashamed. So ashamed. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. And I wanted to kill myself. So I did exactly that. Thank you. I went and took some drugs and just kind of slept in Victoria Park. By this point, I was homeless in Victoria, the second time. And just wanted to let it end. But this guy who's never brushed his teeth resuscitated me. He was a friend of mine. Well, you know, friend in that relative term. And threw me, and I just wake up throwing up all this sort of stuff. Sorry, are you guys interested in this story? I can change it. Oh, okay. So, God forbid there's lessons for you. And then, you know, just kind of came out. And he was so angry. He's slapping me. He's going crazy. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, man? You're a bum as well. It's like, yeah, but you know, you're a loser. How could you do that? You told me you have a son. You said you're helping African people. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand, man. The government screwed me. My ex-wife screwed me. The fucking racism in Australia. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else. What is that sound? It's driving me insane. Anyway, and he's like, yeah, but you're going to die and leave that as your legacy? Huh? What a coach, huh? A bum telling me off. I don't know if it's me. I closed most apps, but that's okay. So what am I here to tell you? Guys, 3 questions came to me then, and I'll move on from here. And maybe write these down, because some of you need to ask yourself this question. If you didn't come to a boot camp we did, we close on this. I was about to die, and these 3 questions came. Number 1, did I actually live my life? Was it my life I was living? Answer, no. I was living the Australian dream, which was 2.4 kids. Yes? Picket fence, good job, Porsche, Eastern Suburbs beach house. Footy on the weekends, nothing wrong with it. It's just, I'm from Africa, remember? How the hell did that become my dream? So, when I lost that dream, I lost my identity. This is dangerous. Number 2, did I really love in my life? I claimed I loved my son, I claimed I loved my wife, but I wasn't spending any time with them. Let me help you with this. Love is time. So now you can tell I love my business, and I'll never not communicate that, just to help you guys. I am so upfront with anyone who wants to hang out with me. You can ask Primi, she's in my team. Axel's in my team. We don't put in part-time, full-time. We put in all time in our business. It's a mission business. I don't measure time. I measure results. And sometimes that takes longer than short-term. True? It's just how it is. So, I didn't really love my son. I was kidding myself. But I told everyone I did. Third, I was about to check out of life, and my legacy was Aaron, the used-to-be successful guy, who then nicked himself, suicidal guy. And that was the legacy I was going to leave my son. Can you imagine how I was feeling? It was called shame. And some of you, I wish that for you. Why? It's going to raise your necessity. Did you hear me talk about that earlier? Some of you are living because you think you're going to live to 200 years. You're not crushing your business today. You're waiting for everything to be okay, waiting for your partner to fix it. Husband, government, new client, new hack, new tech. Wow. The rest of us are just busy. Because we believe if I don't make this business succeed, my son will die. That's what goes on in my head. So if you say, Aaron, I don't like your product, I'm like, next. I don't need sales techniques. I need courage. What do you need? Hey? What do you need? Because if you don't know that necessity, you're not going to win. And psychology proves it. If you get 2 athletes, both same talent, same height, same energy, same time zones, the one that says, I'm doing this for my mom, wins the race. Always. Statistically proven. Think about that. So yes, you're going to get inspired today, but I just got back to business with my African kids. These are parole kids, guys. They were on ice. You know the big problem with ice in Australia, actually everywhere now. I just got back there and I was like, hey guys, so let me be politically correct. You know, we need to like do 7 steps of highly effective people. They're like, dude, motherfucker, I can't read. What the fuck are you talking about? This is how they spoke to me. I was like, whoa, you want to talk to me about this? What have you done? Have you been to prison? I was like, actually, I have. Oh, tell us that story. This is where my politically incorrect was born. It was just real. It's just my story. Been there, done that, got myself a t-shirt, but I'm here to share with you, shit is hard, man. It's pain. Who's ever failed in life? Put up your hand. Been disappointed by people, lied to. Okay, so why are we avoiding this? It's part of the package. Here's my point. Engage with it. Don't chicken out. That's not peak performance. Well, that's not my program. I think it's someone else's program. So anyway, moving on. So here's what I like about some amazing woman. I think she's South African. Rather than me telling you guys, just fake it till you make it, which is what everyone's selling, I don't think that's very authentic. I think you can step it up a bit more. Fake it till you become it. Because I'm telling you right now, as an introvert who was busy trying to be a farmer, trying to do that in Australia, it didn't work. I was trying to work like an Australian to get the same job. It's not equal opportunities. Are you hearing me, guys? I'm also fighting for equal opportunities for women, men, but my brother here can tell you we have a difficult time. I'm gonna shoot someone. We have a difficult time. This is just the truth. Women in the room, is it the same opportunities to get the same jobs as men in the world? No. But people are not having this conversation. So why should I give you the same strategies I'm giving James? No, I'll be doing you a disservice. I need to tell you, you got to work 2 times harder. Same. That's more empowering. But I'm telling you, it doesn't sound nice. Because it's not fair, is it? It's not fair. But fair doesn't count in the bank balance. What does is cold cash. And last time I checked this, why I love business again. My bankers never asked me what my race is or my age or nothing. He just wants to see my profit and loss. I love that. So I just make that the focus. I don't get into these issues people talk about all the time. It just doesn't measure up in success. So everyone stand up, go high five someone and go, fuck, I got this lesson. Whatever that lesson was, go get it, because that was actually more about you than it was about me, yeah? So find someone new that you haven't talked to and just high five them and say, I got this one lesson from that section. That was the section completed, by the way. You can stand up now and meet someone new. God forbid you make a friend. And there's some other people, name badges called Tim over there, very good looking guys. Go high five them as well, yeah? If you're eating, just enjoy your food. Someone will come to you. Okay. That's the canvas. Yeah. Oh, who here got some value just from that quarter? I was just ranting about a story. I wasn't. I was giving you lessons. There's so many ways to teach, but we're so stuck in formal education, tick boxes and get perfect grades. That doesn't help you in business. Remember I said this. It's skills-based. It's story-based. God forbid people are sharing shares of video, shares of stories and making, it's the same stuff. This is the stuff that sells, okay? So, my point is, if you were watching my time frame there, within a space of a year, guys, we opened up in 4 continents. And I launched Yaya-san, which is a social enterprise in Bali, organic, save the world, sustainable, local people, really engaging and using a lot of my money to do that. But it's been an amazing journey because I'm more of a social entrepreneur than I am a capitalist. But I'm telling you one thing that most people are missing. You got to be sustainable to do good. I'll say that again. You got to be sustainable to do good. Most of us are trying to do good, go sustainable environment, and we're going bankrupt because we can't afford to be morally consciously righteous. And Monsanto and all these other companies we say we don't like keep chugging ahead because the product is not. Only my clients know that. Everybody else is focused on the product. If it's true, Macca's shouldn't be in business this long. They are, because the product for them is the business systems. Don't get so hung up on your product. It doesn't matter as much as you think. It matters to you, but not to the market. But guess where you want your money from? The market. So get over yourselves. It's not that much of an issue. But you can become more fancy when you pivot. You understand what I'm saying? Because I want to change the world just like everybody. But I want to make sure it's going to sustain itself when I'm dead and my son can enjoy it. You see the difference? It's just a very different approach. So most people, when I meet them, they get into entrepreneurship because their boss is just a dickhead. Or they just had it with not being able to make a birthday party, funeral, and have to ask for holidays. So they go through, this is driving me insane. They go through, Nge, primacy. She's on the phone. Mungkin lagi, the signal tidak bisa. I don't know what's going on there. So anyway, they go through an entrepreneurial seizure. I don't know if you've ever seen someone go through a seizure. It's like uncontrollable euphoria if it's positive, and totally shocking if it's not. But most people just kind of like go, oh my God, I just watched Steve Jobs. That's it. I'm going to start a business. And they do. 3 years later is where I meet them. That's where I prefer to meet people. They're overwhelmed, they're stressed, and they're depressed. Why? It's because of a couple of things. Number one, they don't know what the difference is between a job and a business. Let me explain to you what a business is. That says great companies, that says startups. We're just going to leave it the way it is. Great companies the owners of great companies have a clear picture of what they're doing. Most people I meet don't know what they're doing. They're confused. Number two, great companies have consistent customer experience. I can't tell you how many people I've coached. They come to a workshop, they become a yoga teacher. I meet them next week, they're a Kundalini teacher. I meet them next week, they're a secret geometric, who knows what. And then I'm like, what's happening with your customers? You know what I mean? There's just no consistency there. Next, people focus on the product in startups. So dependent on the owner. I think this is the best thing. I think this is what the world needs. I. Yeah? Okay, anyway. And then the business owner goes, I don't really care much about the product. I'm just going to care about the systems that move that product. So they spend 80% of their time there. So by the time they retire, the business doesn't need them, and it still gives them money. But most people, dentists, lawyers, very smart people, by the way, they're so product-specific, product-dependent, thank you, that they miss out on that. Okay? Yeah, makasi. Strong leadership. What's the word? Guys, you don't know strong leadership. If you go like, oh, yeah, it's okay, and then everyone goes, oh, you're so passionate, this is nice, you're not leading your business. Strong leadership is where you start pissing people off because they're getting a little bit uncomfortable around you because you're so passionate about your business. And they say that's not going to work. You say, I'll show you. That's uncomfortable. But that's a strong leader, right? Who wants to work for a weak boss or a strong boss? Okay. Thank you. So why aren't you strong in your business and letting other people tell you why it's not going to work? You know what I'm saying? Total control. Most people I meet, out of control. Why? I think it's because of the news. I think it's because of your next door neighbor. I think it's because of your network, actually. We're also busy validating ourselves in mediocrity in most cases. Me, I upgrade my network every time, and people like Emma kick my ass because he's got this many stores, this many employees. I find it difficult to go bitch to him about how my business is so difficult. But those are the people I hang out with 99% of the time. Most people, what do? They're the king of the pin, and they're telling their friends how to do it, but they're talking about the prices of bananas. Not saying there's anything wrong with that if you're in the banana industry, but you can see it's not really a focus if you're not. Yeah. So just check yourself out on that. Where are you giving away your control? Next, you need to understand something, guys. Being in business is different to having a job. Why? There's actually 3 hats you have to wear. How many? 3. The entrepreneur isn't the T-shirt. Thank you. I should take you for events as well. Yep. Keep doing your thing, man. I'll just continue. So the entrepreneur is different to the manager, who's different to the technician. What's the technician? The person that makes the product. Okay? The person that makes your website. Doesn't matter what you do. It's hands-on stuff. Put in the hours, get paid. That's like people who've been educated. Manager, very different. So let's explain them in a little bit detail. Here's a fatal misconception. Who here has gone to school, got good grades, and got themselves a job at least once in their life? At some level, somewhere. Yeah, you went to school at least. You've been conditioned. You've been brainwashed already. Too late. It's not a bad or good thing. I'm just telling you, you're in the system. But just because you know the technical work of the business you did, and then you go open. So, for example, a mechanic might be working for someone else fixing cars. Yeah, fixing cars. Then he goes, my boss is an idiot. I'm going to do this myself. So he opens up a mechanic store, but he's still doing the technical work in the business. He doesn't do his finance and administration. How long is he going to be in business? Out of business. Oh, I'm the technical guy. I don't sell. So you go get a sales guy like Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, you get sued. Fatal misconception. So, get over it. Technical work is only 5% of the business. Think about that. 5% of the business. So the 95% of the time, you're not even in the game. You're competing against Muhammad Ali with both your hands behind your back. This is why big businesses who are unethical are winning every time. It's just they're not in this business. They're entrepreneurs. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. But before I do, let's talk about managers. Managers delegate, but how can you delegate something that you haven't created? You understand? Oh, no, I just get someone to do my finance and my books, but you haven't created the systems for them to meet the standard you expect. This is your responsibility, business owner. Is this making sense, my friends? Yeah? Here's the jobs. I hope you're taking photos. My IP is free because I know the only thing missing in this world is execution. So I'll give you everything you need to know because I know you're not going to do it. It makes no difference to me, right? But God forbid some of you do. This is why I'm entertaining myself. Managers are doing the planning for the departments. They're quantifying overall performance and results. There's that word again. And guess what? They're recruiting, hiring, training, performing, and basically using systems to manage their staff. So if you don't have systems in your business and you're not doing this stuff, you're working in the business, you're not working on the business. But I don't like people. Don't build a business then. You need people to get out of the stuff you're doing so you can go do what entrepreneurs do. And this is such a revelation for most people because we're so taught to be technicians, guys. We're taught to be technicians, and the technicians are perfectionists. Oh, wow. But that's not where the business is. Who's like learning something here? It's not where the business is. The rest of us are here. Boom. Holder of the vision. Holder of? Here's that word everybody likes. Risk taker. Ooh. Complete responsibility for the results. Here's why I need you guys to really listen to this. Let me tell you why you need to take full responsibility for your business. When it's not working, it's shit. I hate it. I hate it when complaining clients come. I hate it when my ex-wife still complains about something I haven't done. That doesn't hurt. I'm just being honest. Is that okay? It really hurts me. I get really upset with it. It's still happening. But now that I'm getting some success, guess what? I keep all the credit. I keep all the money. This is good. Everyone wants that one, but guess where I find most people? They don't want to pay the price. Everybody wants the money, but nobody wants to take the risks. Only people who think like that are 5-year-olds. You understand? We need to grow up. For every price, there's a prize. But for every prize, there's a, let's just have that mature conversation. And I know it doesn't sell. I'm sorry, I can motivate you, jump on fire and fucking, but it's not going to help your business. This honesty will. So here's the job that you need to be doing 80% of the time. Are you ready? Number 1, increase the attractiveness and value of your company. Why, Aaron? Because you don't exist. I want to buy from you, but I can't see you because you're not selling to me. You have an issue with sales. You're not attractive. You need to sell. Hello? You need to sell. You need to sell. You need to sell. Sell. Can you see the, but Wolf of Wall Street? That's not selling. That's coercion. Selling is influence. Selling is influence. I am influencing you. You don't believe it? You all moved. That's influence. Now, look, yeah, but you asked us to. I know, but you could have said no. Leonie did. So I can't influence her, but I respect her for it. You see that? We didn't get into a fight and say, hey, you need to move, Leonie. I just said respect. But I'm looking for the people who I can influence, and they, because you guys are also influencing me, James. Right? He goes like this, I go, okay, he got it, I got it. That works. But that's where my prospect starts. But if I can't influence you, you're a suspect. I won't waste my time there. And you shouldn't either. But most of us, guess what we're doing? We're trying to convince our neighbors, grandparents, and our friends. No, that's wrong. Shame on you. Number 2, most important. Why are you getting someone else to create your systems? You're the one who knows your business. I don't like that stuff. Okay, it's like getting a kid and you want to sleep all day. Don't get the kid. It comes as a package. Comes as a what? That's it. Develop marketing strategies. How are you going to move the product from your head to the supply chain, to the marketplace, inventory, systems, satisfaction guarantee reviews, refunds? All that stuff is marketing, because at every touch point, you guys are making a decision about me. Have you noticed? This is part of a marketing system, but you can ask my team, if they showed you what we have a system, it'll blow your head up. But we spent 10,000 hours creating it. Go figure we can scale to 4 continents. It's because of the system, not because I'm great. It's because of my team. They're 10 times smarter than me. 10 times better looking, of course, too. Right? They know who they are in the room. But you got to empower your team. Otherwise, how many hours in the day do you guys have? How many hours? Donald Trump and all these guys have. So why are they billionaires and you're not? Systems. Systems. You get it? It's not because he's a bad, good, evil person. No, he's just got systems. When you own that, you just do business. You just do business. So I hope that's really helpful. And my favorite, you got to lead. Stop telling people what to do, show them. But so many of us are so fancy in our businesses because we've been fancy as employees. If you get into business, you got to outperform your staff to set a standard. It's not overworking, it's a standard. But you do that. Who's a parent in the room? Do our kids do what we tell them or what we do? Okay. So how's that changed now that you're all mature and grown up? It's the same. Just move on. Do what nature tells you to do. It's that simple. But I can't tell you people don't want to hear that. They want to hear about Infusionsoft. Because it's going to make it easy for them. Business is simple. It's not easy. That's the difference. Okay, 3 stages. Oh, we're doing well, Aaron. Good. So here's why you came. Let me stimulate your intellectual brains. It doesn't mean you execute, but I'll do it anyway. First stage is clarity. First stage is? Guys, there's only 6 habits I'm going to share with you at the end that make 85% of the results. Who'd like to know what they are? Yes. Okay, those of you can stay. The rest of you, when it's time, just go. It's been proven across 198 countries, 20 million people, research done over 22 years. Psychology, physiology, social science, behavior. I did all that research for you so I can save you time because I was also getting poor results in my client base and I was like, what's wrong with this? Is it my shirt? Is it my teeth? What is it? It turned out I was teaching too much information and not getting clear about the simple things that people need to know in business that make 80% of the results. Remember what I said earlier, people major in minor things. I was majoring last year in minor things. No more. So if you get a chance, who was at the boot camp? Put up your hands. Please talk to these people. Boot camp is intense, but we didn't go into all sorts of complicated stuff. There was just 4 areas. You master these 4 areas, your financial statement changes. Changes completely. But you have to practice, okay? So clarity involves primary aim. Strategic objective and clear end goals. Not goal setting, like I'll make 10x, 1,000, no. It's like, let's just say I help you guys make $1 million. Who'd like that? Just $1 million? I hope so, put up your hand. But here's why most people don't make it. It's not that it's not possible, it's they don't know what they're gonna do with it. 5 minutes, how did that happen? We were like 15 minutes ago. Okay, I gotta move, my boss is telling me. Number 2, prototype. Most people are talking about doing a business, but they don't validate the idea based on a proof of concept or the business model or finding the ideal client that they love to work with. They're working with everybody and it just creates a headache for themselves. Business is simple. You focus on those 3 things you're going to love. You're going to what? You're going to love your business. I love my clients. Guys, I don't even know the difference between clients and soulmate friendship. We're so crazy. The stuff we get up to and the things we talk about, you'll be worried outside the box. Because I just think, here's a help for you. It's been proven work-life balance doesn't work. Who's still thinking about work-life balance? It doesn't work. Let me give you a replacement. Work-life integration. My client, my friends, my family, my passions, my business, my money, my lifestyle, my environmental objectives, my life experiences, my chakras, all lined up in one. And I just do 24 hours of living. What an experience that is. I'm telling you, it's that simple, but you have to work on it because the world's telling you, no, you got 24 hours, cut it up and do this with your wife, do this with your kids, go pay your taxes over here, and then and then you're like running out of time. Because you're setting goals, but not end goals. The end goal, guys, is not the money, it's what you're going to do with it. Okay? Bear that in mind. Last is systems. Systems. So, who here is at the prototype stage, at least? They're working on the business model and trying to find ideal clients. Okay. Who here is still kind of figuring out if they want to get into this business thing? And maybe I've talked you out of it. I hope not. Okay. Who here has got staff? That's the point of difference. All right. Some of you don't know, so you better check that out. You don't need to work on systems if you don't have staff. You get me? You need to validate your business. Get it solid. Get the quality up. Have less products, right, Stephen? That's it. So, let's talk about this quickly. Here's what's so funny, guys. This is from John DiMartini, but I kind of improvise it. That's why my name is there. The number of obstacles you face are due to the lack of clarity. So if you have a money issue, you're just not clear about it. If you have a relationship issue, you're just not clear about it. If you have a key task issue, you're not clear about that. Whatever issue you have, it's a lack of clarity. So guess what? Just go get clear about it. You know what's hurting in your life. You know where your pain points are. But how many of you are going to get experts and coaches in those areas? Answer, 15% of the population. So I find it curious, people get into an elite sport called business and they don't have a coach. Yet every gold medalist I've ever met, every successful businessman I've ever met, every successful married person has some sort of counselor, mentor. True or true, guys? At the peak level, I'm not talking the average Joe, or that's Australian maybe? I don't know, you know, the average person. And not average like it's condescending, it's just the unfulfilled person. That's what I mean. The fulfilled people, they go for it, the clarity. They don't want to use excuses. So here's the information on some of these stages. Number one, if you're at the idea stage, don't waste your time on too many things apart from brainstorming and market research. What's market research? Google Analytics, go talk to your neighbors, come to events like this, research your industry, find out what you need to do. When you are satisfied you know kind of enough about what you're interested in, then it stopped working. Then you go prototype development. Now notice this is a piece of paper looking like a bird. It's because you're not spending that much money there. I can't tell you how many people waste too much money at the beginning. Getting fancy. It's never going to work the first time. Okay? Beta launch. Most people aim, adjust, research, adjust. Entrepreneurs aim, fire. Oh shit, that didn't work. Adjust. Aim, fire. Oh, that didn't work. Adjust. That's beta launch. We just launched. I just launched a bootcamp. Axel and I were thinking about it in January. 3 months. Done. It went really well. So we're going to do it again. Bigger, better. Yeah? But where are most people? They're thinking about it 10 years later. We're gone. You get it? You got to beta launch, guys. You don't have to spend a lot of money. And then revise and analyze your situation. So, who here is at the research stage? Put up your hand. You got to know this. I hope everyone puts up their hand somewhere. Who's at the research stage? Still researching their idea, trying to figure out where they are in life and what it means to be on this planet. That's good. Okay. Prototype. Who here is kind of launching a couple of products, checking it out, seeing if people like it? Good. Do more. Cheaper, mura. Yeah? Young kachil. Beta launch. Who's already beta launched some products? Some customers kind of liked it, didn't like it. Okay. Who's revising every 90 days? Who's revising every 90 days? Aha. See? Keyword, 90 days. The market is so fast. What I was teaching even yesterday, I've already updated this. Some of you clients will see new stuff today. Okay? Then, for some of you, you've launched, you've got a product out there, it's kind of working. Public launch. Public launch. That's where you get a little bit fancy. That's where you spend a bit of money on your business and logos and colors. If you look at one of my clients, actually, can I talk about you? Jennifer here is monetized, but she doesn't have a website, and she's in the fashion industry. How the hell did she pull that off? Beta launching. Facebook groups, soirees, or home party plan stuff. It's just easy there, guys, because if you make a mistake, nobody knows about it. If it becomes successful, then you can get fancy later. So guess what we're doing this year? We're scaling. But most people, oh no, I need to go on Etsy, Spotify, because I need to make a big splash. And guess what? You might have some algorithms change, or they stop your account. You're in trouble. Fixing that shit, Mary will tell you a story or two. It's a costly situation, yeah? Because you're not in control of your business. That's not bad or good. It's part of the game. But imagine if you just kind of protected yourself earlier. That's all I'm saying there. Innovation. Who's heard of Nokia here? Good. Where are they these days? They were so stuck on the buttons. They give you more buttons. In fact, the phone was just buttons at some point. It was just ridiculous. And Apple go, we're not going to compete with that. We're going to just take the buttons off. So my point to you guys is, you guys think the market is saturated? No, you're just not innovating. It's never saturated. Whatever people used to do, they don't do now. But whatever you're doing now, just go back to what they used to do, and you got a point of difference. It's that simple. Bell bottoms were in, then they were out, and now people are dressed like the 60s again. How does that happen? Oh, it's trendy. Really? You get me? Innovate. Funding. Notice it's the seventh thing. It's not first for a reason. If you don't believe me, check out Uber. Money can get you crazy. Because what is 10x of 0? Okay. So why are we rushing for scaling and funding to scale what? Get the quality up. I hope that helps. Market dominator. There's so many strategies here. Who knows Tony Robbins? Okay, you want to know why everyone knows Tony Robbins? He's been in the industry over 40 years. I watched videos of him back in Jim Rohn days, my mentor Jim Rohn. Some of you have been in the industry know this. He was charging like $50. Now you can get a coaching session with him for an hour for $1 million. But hats off to him. He was my mentor for 3 years. It's because he's earned the right. What's your rush? Skills mastery. Remember I said that. Prototype. So I'm moving fast on purpose. Guys, too many of us are talking and selling when we should be creating prototypes and say, here, customer, have a look at that. You should have a look at Jennifer's jumpsuit. I think it's smoking. But until then, I was like, we're not talking about it. Until we have this thing to wear, and then you wear it, and then you show the customer, they'll make their decisions on their own. It's very simple, but most of us are not prototyping enough. We're busy trying to sell a concept. It's much easier to sell a picture. Are you hearing this, guys? Simple stuff. But this is why some of us are crushing it in business, and you're still worrying about Confusionsoft. No. Okay. Axel, canvases? Could you help me? Or maybe James, can we just pass one on? Who's ever seen this? Sorry, I need 5 more minutes. I know. This always happens. Who's ever seen a business model canvas? Who's never seen a business model canvas? Oh, cool. I'll enlighten some of you. I don't believe in business plans until you're asking for money from a bank or an investor. Because who here has a business plan and hasn't used it for 6 months? Most people, including me. So what's the point? It's not a tool. This tool can help you explore your 9 areas of your business. 9, maybe. I think it's 9. Whatever. And change it every 90 days. So what I want to recommend you do quickly, just scribble for yourselves, because I'm a teacher. I'm not really a coach. I'm more of a teacher. Is ask yourself where you start. If you've watched Shark Tank, they tell you value proposition. I say it's a crock of shit. You need to go from where are you passionate about helping the world in. So for me, I struggled with money my whole life. My family are poor. So I know the pain of not having money, and I know what startups are going through when they don't have a bit of money. Who's had a few financial challenges in business? Okay, so I know that because I've been there. So it's easy for me then to tell you what the problem is. Who here has lack of results in a business? Put up your hands. See? Who here gets a bit confused about what to do next? There we go. Who here has inconsistencies? They say they're going to do this and don't freaking finish the deadline. The customer, rah, 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 rah. Now, imagine I know that. I'm not busy trying to sell you anything. I'm just telling you the problems I solve in Start Results are these 3. If you put up your hand, potential, we can work together. That's as simple as that. But just because you have a pain point doesn't mean you want to fix it. Because the enemy of a great life is a, there you go. I don't make the rules. But when you're in pain or homeless like me, I dropped money with Tony Robbins I didn't have. I was so desperate. He sold the shit out of it. But if the opposite of that in a thesaurus, traction, clarity, accountability is where you get coaching. Is that like complicated, guys? Nope. But how many of you do that first before you even come up with a logo called Start Results? Where do you think it came from? I did this first before I did my logo. And now it's just sending out that vibration, spiritual people, to the people that are resonating with the pain point. So write this down. Stop selling and start telling people the problems you solve. That's it. That's your business forever. And then create a brand, marketing strategy, color theme, whatever around that. Don't sell your features and benefits. It's boring. We're all bored. We don't want to hear it. True, guys. You can Google that stuff these days. Last. Traction. What is traction? The ability to acquire new clients. Selling. 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 If you don't sell, you're out of business. Who here agrees with that? Okay. So why aren't we selling? Oh, we don't like it. Okay, get over that. You have to learn. Number 2. Grow your business sustainably. You can lose your business growing too fast, and you can lose your business not making enough money. You need to be able to grow sustainably. This is where most people are losing it. They go to Shark Tank, they pitch their businesses. But let me give you a statistic. 7% of people who win Shark Tank actually stay in business after the first year. Why? The people giving you the money, it's their business. Do the research. It's just that doesn't sell. We're so busy going, yeah, I think I should do that. Are you going to own your business after 1-2 years? If the answer is no, don't go there. Just build it yourself sustainably. Own it all. And then give it away slow, like Facebook. You hear me? Watch the movie. He's a dickhead, but he's smart, actually. Because he wasn't like giving away his shares too early. First, he made himself valuable by dominating in the university space. Did you know that? That's where he started. But you guys want to go public day 2. Come on. That's not how it works. Okay? So, I put this in extra. Some of you have seen it, some of you haven't, including clients. So if you're a client, this will be session next. So just check this out, and I won't talk too much because I got to finish. They shoot me. Okay. Imagine you've got a week to spend time. I believe if you're in the first 3 years of your business, you should be spending 60% of your time working on your business. Why? You don't exist. You got to work harder than the person that does. Is that fair? If not, get out of business. You're not putting in enough time. But if you're okay with that and you're a bit mature and you've got a little bit of mustard, as they say in Australia, you need to know, don't go talk to suspects. Remember I talked about suspects. These are people who are usually convinced. They know everything. They don't do anything about nothing. 10% of the population are that. They know it all. But guess what? They'll never change. My suggestion, stay away. On the other side is the other 10%. They're actually in the pain point. Their business is struggling. They really want answers. They don't see the business plan working. They've tried the website stuff, it didn't work. They went to a motivational seminar, that wasn't enough. They're back to life going, shit. In 6 weeks, I better close or I better get a client. One of the two is going to happen. These people I'm looking for. Why? They're looking for answers. Those people, we do business instantly. Steven is a perfect example. He came and signed up. He didn't even know what he signed up for. I love those people. Why? They're coming from necessity. Within weeks, the business is changing. Because he's doing the work, because he knows he's tried everything else that didn't work. And everyone else was being nice to him. He's a good-looking guy. He's very successful in his sustainability projects. He's getting funding from big brands. But nobody's telling him the truth, right? Right on. So we had some honest chats for the first time in a while. And I'm the same. At my level, everyone's telling me how great I am. This is the enemy. I love you guys, but my coaches, they tell me what I need to work on. I want to grow, don't you? So my point is, clients are the same. But here's where the magic is the people who just don't know yet. They can move, but you got to first interview them. And like I'm doing with some of you, helping you do 2 things. Number 1, who feels a bit challenged by some of the information I shared today? Good. That's challenge. Number 2, helping you think different. Once you think different, boom, you start looking for the answers. I really hope you understand this. Stop selling. Oh, shit, I added something else. So those of you who want to grow and make a lot of money, it's pretty much this simple. You can make a lot of money with less people. This is the statistics. Why? If you have a new product like a sustainable thing that can massage you and talk to a dolphin and open your chakras, and the market doesn't know anything about it, it's going to take you 3 conversions. So that's 3 people in 100 who say yes. But if it's a new plan, but it's with existing clients that trust you already, 10%. If it's existing clients with an existing product, 15% conversion. Here's where it's at. Build relationships, build trust with existing people that have pain points, solve those first, and then offer something new. It's big business. Why? 0 marketing. I don't spend money. I just get referrals from my existing clients. I've been doing that for the last 3 years, guys. Business went boom. It's simple, but you got to work at it. Okay, to finish. It's all about deliberate habits. It's about what? Deliberate habits. It's about habits. It's about? Habits is what practitioner sport, mature people know is the thing that makes the difference. What time do you get up in the morning is more important to your success than your business plan. You understand what I'm saying to you? Getting out there to go and sell is more important to you than me saying, James, I think your eyes are so nice. You're going to do so well in business. That's not going to help him. Sorry, can I touch him? Is that okay? Okay, yeah. I'm a bit metro like that. You know what I'm saying? Bali does some weird things too. It's in the air, I think. Anyway, so it's about habits. And the best example I can give you, someone who's an apprentice trying to learn to make a table. Would you go and Google that stuff on YouTube? Are you going to learn how to make that table? You could start there, but how successful will you be on day one? It's different, you see. It's not school. You have to do what? Go enroll and find a master who knows how to make those tables. And they go, hey, you see this table is this type of wood. And then if you do this and the water goes here, it bends. So you got to do this. And it's these nuances you got to learn. And then it says, 10,000 hours, talk to me in like 4 years, then I'll give you a certificate when you can show me you can make a table. Not, you've done 4 years, so you deserve a certificate. So, in other words, in business, show me your bank account, and I'll tell you if you're a business person or not. It's that simple. Because if you're not making the cash, you've got a problem in sales. If you've got a problem in sales, you're out of business. You see what that point? How long is it going to take you? As long as it takes. Me, I was selling cabbages at 12. So naturally at 36, man, bring me a person who has necessity, I can sell ice to Eskimos. And I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you I've done my time. You need to if you haven't, particularly technicians in the room are product focused. They're so anti-sales, but if you understand what I said to you earlier, you get it. So here's the 6 habits. Please take a photo that will change your life. I'm not here to, like I said to you, well, can this work? This is it. Forever. Forever. Did I talk about seeking clarity today? It's been proven. All peak performers in the whole world always get coaching, seek clarity, ask the right questions. They generate energy. Who thinks I have a little bit of energy? This is nothing. Come to a boot camp. It's here. Why? It takes a lot of fuel to break out of orbit, doesn't it? Some of us are like this in our business. Wow. You're out. You're out. Next, necessity. I talked about it already. Increase productivity. You got to measure your scorecard. Who loves scorecards here? Lisa. My clients hate this thing because it's like numbers. Oh, my God. But you have to measure something. Why? What you measure improves. Write that down. What you measure improves. If you don't measure, you can't improve. If you can't improve, you're out of business. You got to measure. And it's not complicated. Expenses, sales, prospecting meetings, staff training, system implementation, system creation. That's Axel's job. You get me? And guess what? You can have the best product, but if you can't sell it to me, you're out of business. You don't believe me? Tesla cars weren't invented by Elon Musk, but we all know Elon Musk for Tesla. No, someone else invented it. It's just he knows how to influence people, and that's why we know about it. You see the difference? You got to learn how to sell. Last, courage. Yeah, it's so embarrassing when someone says, you got a shit product, guys. It used to wipe me out for months. Now I'm just like, oh, really? Okay, thank you. Who are you again? Exactly. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that tough. I just don't hear it anymore. It just kind of... So here are the 4 things and we'll close. 1, you got to understand I've shared a lot of information today, maybe too much, but I'm going at this pace just for you to resonate with the parts you feel challenged in. That's a place you need to work. Okay? But once you know you're feeling a little bit low, it gets emotional, but I'm working you into conscious incompetence so you can raise your necessity so that we can get you to this place called conscious competence in business. There's only 6 areas you got to master. But you're going to go through this emotional thing. But once you do, guys, you get to unconscious competence where I use pictures to tell a story. I don't even think, first time I was shaking, I had pages, books I wanted to get it so perfect. This is where I started in public speaking and they kicked me out in Toastmasters because I said shit. You know, this is life. But I went through it. But who here hasn't been through this to learn any new skill? We've all been through it. So just own it in the business. It's the same. So to finish, actually, I forgot what we were actually going to do. Oh, okay, it doesn't matter. We don't have a boot camp anymore because people have already done it. Oh, yeah, thank you. And we can't take on any more coaching clients. I'm maxed out. But if you resonate with a little bit of bing, come and have a chat to Axel. Put up your hand. This is the smartest man I know. Actually, second smartest. Primi is actually topping him now. But we are basically doing something monthly where we just go into a deep dive about those 6 areas. I do this. There's so many layers of it. But I'm not going to teach you stuff that doesn't count or measure up in performance behavior. Is that okay? It's based on science. But that stuff is so deep, I need to like do that. So if you're open, it's $1. Is that like mahal? Indonesians in the room. Putu, put up your hand. Putu is a Balinese woman. She can afford $1. So you guys have no excuse if you want to play. I can't make it any cheaper. But it's about a $29 a month commitment after the first month. But what I want to do first is I want to know who you are. First, we check in online, and I ask you a couple of questions so I know who you are. And we put you in a tribe, and then you get to meet all these crazy people learning the same things you are. But it's a very, very good program. But at least if you don't like it, you try it for $1, you like it. But my point is, if there's no necessity, don't waste your time. Is that fair? You don't have to do it. $1 is expensive for the person who doesn't want to do anything about life. I know this myself. Talk to me about Kitas issues. It's just too expensive to talk about. No money in the world can discount that conversation. I won't have it. No, price of bananas, won't have it. But business, I'll give away a liver if I have to. Because I got staff I'm responsible for. So I don't know where you're at in life. I'm just telling you timing is everything. I get it. But if you want to play, you got to pay. $1. $1, yeah? Talk to them. So let me close. I told you about my situation. And guys, I can't emphasize this enough. So many of us are going through life and we've pressed the watch button, thinking it's the go button. If something is cooking in you and you want to make a difference, I'm telling you, 5 years ago, I was homeless. But I had a dream. I had a what? And I just worked my ass off because I know I'm now writing the bestseller of my life. But a big chunk of this book, guys, is failure at levels most of you don't understand. But the enemy of a great life is a good one. So pretend you had a bad life and start writing the bestseller of your life because you only got this life. And business can be a platform to help you change the world in ways you can't imagine. You attract people like Primi, like Axel, like my clients. Oh my God, they changed my life. And I know it sounds a bit spiritual, but we're in Bali, so screw me. Yep. Next. This is my little boy. Not the blonde one, but it's possible, I'm sure. But we tend to chocolate everything, yeah? This kid, I used to tell him, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And then I just said, if I want him to live a different life, I got to be example. Parents in the room, you know what I'm saying? We're living auspiciously through our kids and punishing them for things that are not even part of their issue. It's us who are not living the life we said we would. That's where the problem is, I think. So let's get busy loving them by leading by example. Is that okay? That's all I'm trying to say there, because, oh my God, they've got their own mission. But last, I want to make a difference in Africa, guys. But for so long, I was relying on World Vision or the president of Africa or when my coach says, hey, man, why don't you lead? So let me challenge you all now. Why don't you lead for all the shit you're complaining about on TV? Huh? Because if you do, and my coach and our closers has said this, for things to change, you have to change. So thank you very much for listening. See Axel if you want to do business for $1. Holla for $1, yeah? But I'd like to take some questions now. Maybe 3 is okay. Bisa? And please ask me about the habits. Just cueing you on what really matters. Don't ask me about my African story. We can talk about that later. But these habits, guys, mean everything. I can't tell you it's taken me 10,000 hours to figure this out. This is all you need to know.
About habits, what was the best way to break bad habits?
Did you hear that question? Say it again. That was so good.
What is the best way to break bad habits?
Good. Who's ever been a smoker and trying to quit? Okay, you guys don't do enough crazy things, huh? Yeah. Okay. Stopping the chocolate cakes and sweets and stuff. Yeah, we're all sugar junkies. Okay, have you noticed if you try and quit it, it's like super hard. It gets bigger in your head? or you go and say, I'm going to eat more broccoli. You understand what I mean? You have to replace it with something else and focus more on that. So for me, I was complaining I didn't have money, but I replaced it with I want to serve more. If you talk to any of my clients, I want to overwhelm them with service, but every time I do, the money comes triple, because it's connected. You get me? So many people are like chopping up their hours for the dollar. Big mistake. You're not serving the world in a big way. So if it's about one of those habits is maybe you don't wake up on time. Don't stop. Don't try and wake up. It's like, what can you replace that's going to help you wake up for something? So some of you, like me, I go running in the morning, but I actually want to serve my clients, so I actually need to do this video thing to share like some philosophical stuff. So I want to get the sunrise with that, so I get up for that. And I get up. I don't even need an alarm. But before I was trying to get up at 6, oh man, forget about it. Too hard. So replace it. Does that answer the question? And if you notice, I'm actually talking about raising necessity. There's something else you need to do, go do that, and that'll fix the thing you don't want to do. Yep? Is that helpful? Cool. One more question. Thank you for that, James. That was cool. Ari has a question because she's texting it on the phone.
I'm writing down this note.
Okay. I'll come back around. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Any other? Okay. Yeah, Lisa.
All right, Lisa.
Yeah. I hope it's a question you're going to ask is like deep. She's a life coach as well and a sustainability coach for businesses. So I expect a really your level coaching question for you, right? Not for anyone else, yeah?
Okay, prepared to be disappointed.
It's a client. We can go there.
It's not about the habits, although I've got some that I could ask. It's about, you said earlier on, about painting a picture. So how do you do that for a service when you don't have a product to be able to show? I don't have a jumpsuit to wear. I have a sarong, but I don't have a jumpsuit to wear.
Not yet, yeah.
So
Got it.
so how do I paint that picture
Good question.
for people? Thank you.
So keep holding it. We're going a bit deeper.
I thought we might.
Just give us a bit of background first so people understand before. Because if I answer it, I know you get it because you know your business, but the rest of the world are like, what does she mean? She paint a picture for what? So wrong. Yeah, they don't know what you do. So what's your, and God forbid you get clients. So what do you do? Yeah.
All right. I help people, particularly entrepreneurs, step up to become social impact entrepreneurs. So actually find their purpose, that they build a business that makes an impact in the world rather than just a business that makes money. And yes, you will make money if you're aligned with your purpose.
Nice.
But I don't have a tangible thing to show you what that looks like.
Beautiful. Did you hear that? Was that clear, what she does? I like how you did the chin thing. Yeah, I like
It works, but it stops the echo.
Oh, yeah, baby. I know. I never do it. I'm like, yeah. All right. Anyway, don't worry. That's an in-joke. So, you guys understand what she does. Is she service or product? Service or product? Okay. You see, some of you don't even know this. You must know if you're service or product. The minute you're service, your business is different. I'll tell you why. 3 things. Number 1, you need to build your reputation first. Because people are judging you. Over my juice company, I launched it in 7 days, started making money. Don't believe me? Just go on Facebook. I actually did it to test myself because it was an exercise by my coach. But I just had to make sure the product was good enough to go, Gabby, you want to try this? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Okay, cool. How much would you pay for it? You see? It's a different thing to, hey, I'm a business coach. And then you're like, who are you again? I don't know you. And they can't taste you. Actually, technically, some people can lick you and taste you, but it's not going to be the same sort of business, if you know what I'm saying. So, service or product? If you know your service, different strategy to if your product. Did I make sense on that level? So now, in terms of she's service, how do you paint a picture? It comes from one thing. You ready? How much are you in the service of asking the right questions so that they paint the picture of why they need you? Is this making sense? Versus trying to show them a picture which is you, which is not what your business is about. Right? So, questions like, hey, is sustainability important to you? Lisa?
Yes.
Great. Tell me a bit about what that looks like for you in your business.
Well, for me, it's about creating something that will function without me. So it's it doesn't
you're
need
one of your
me to
clients
function.
now. You're the client. I'm just giving you the
Yep.
questionnaire that you need to have ready for the session. Yes, good. Okay, go. Yep. So it's about that. Okay, so tell me, client, you've obviously been in business, you're sustainable, you're successful. Do you know the difference between a human plus and a human minus business?
I probably do, but not from the
Let's
way
say
you
no.
put it. No.
They know. Yeah, most people don't. And this is where we're now giving the service of helping the client think differently. Let me explain a human minus. Human minus is something like Coca-Cola. Very successful or unsuccessful financially?
Successful.
Extremely successful. 100-year plus, stable business, right? Good. How much is Coca-Cola sugar helping the human beings in the moment?
0.
So it's a minus business. Does that make sense to you,
Yep.
client?
Absolutely.
Great. Let me explain what a human plus business. Have you heard of Anima Juice?
Yes.
Anima Juice is a company owned by this crazy African who just can't stop talking. But what he does is he works with these people called the Balinese, and they work on these things in the environment. And you know what? There's plastic problems here. They do injection molding. They do hydroponic products, and they're trying to go vertical farming, and they're going to take it all over the world. So these guys are really not only empowering the Balinese, but he actually gives back the business to them, systemized. It's like a McDonald's franchise, but for good. Is that a human plus or human minus business?
Human plus.
But here's the challenge. It's very expensive. So would you like a human plus or human minus business client? Are you hearing my questions? And you'd say?
Yes, I would like.
No one would say Coca-Cola. Even if they want to, they wouldn't. Okay, so what are your strategies at the current moment in your business that are helping you transition from human minus to human plus?
Okay.
None. Okay. See, I've painted her a picture. From there, it's on, baby. It's on. Because she's now thinking about that. She's not thinking about your price. And she's just told you she wants a human plus. No human I've ever met, even the ones who do mining and fucking up my country. Yeah, my brother will tell you we got mining crazy problems from Western companies, might I add. Right? It's cool. I'm just going to go there, do something different to make them obsolete. I'm not going to take them on. But they know they're not human plus. But if I go in there and go, you fucking bastards killing my country. No, it'll be the same question. And trust me, I'll get $1 million budget from them. 2 million, 10 million. You get it?
Yeah.
But if I try and sell them my service, we're out. Is this helpful for everyone? I
Yes.
should do this in the boot camp. Can you remind me? That's good. So, hands of applause. I hope that answered your question. But
Sure did.
what I'm
Thank you.
looking for in the session are exact questions I asked you, or at least your version of them. And that way you have a system that you can train other coaches to do that. And that's how we train your sales team.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope I solved that sales
Yep.
team issue we
Thank
started off 6 months ago, whatever that was.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well done. One more question. Yes? Okay, Julie has a question. Or is that like, Aaron, shut up? Could be a bit of both. I work with very strong women, and I'm a bit scared half the time. Yes, Julie. Are you Scully?
Yeah. So maybe I missed it, but could you explain more about generate energy?
About
So-
what? Oh, yeah.
Generate energy.
favorite.
So,
Yes.
yeah, for example, if I have found my clarity,
Mm-hmm.
and then like I want to communicate it with people, but I'm not extrovert. I'm some kind of like introvert person,
That's good.
and I don't want to, like communicate it, fabricate it message. So, like, how do you generate this authentic
Yes.
energy?
So is it energy or clarity? Because I heard you
Energy.
mention two. Okay. Do you guys understand the question? I'm just diving into my boot camp because there's a great answer for that. Okay, so let me clarify to make sure I understood you. So what you're asking is, let's just say you have an intention to communicate an idea or something to somebody else, yes? A staff or stakeholder or client or boyfriend or husband or parent or whatever, yeah? And you're trying to use your energy to motivate them to do what you want, correct? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So, if that's true, this is good. Hey, clients, you're going to get excited. I actually didn't do this at the Thingamabob. That's a good question. Okay. So, a couple of things for everyone. Who here wants to influence other people? You better put up your hand because you're doing it negatively if you're not thinking about it. There's no in between. There's some things in the universe that are just absolute. You either influence someone positively or negatively. I'll give you an example. Let's just say Jennifer wants my attention, and she goes, "Hey, Aaron." I'm like, yeah, Aaron, am I influencing her negative or positively? You see that? You got to take charge of this stuff. Leaders don't take that shit lightly. Everything matters. So why am I bringing that up? It's connected to Julie's question, which is first you have to decide, are you in the influence game or not? And if you're not, you're being influenced by the world. And guess what the world has planned for you? Not much. Not much. Negative, actually. You're you're out before you even started, right? So what you need to do first is agree or decide that you're gonna, oh, this is good, that you're gonna influence the world. I only invented this at midnight on the boot camp, so I apologize, but now it exists. So I'm just prototyping it on you guys. Thank you very much. So check this out. There's the need to acknowledge you're influencing people anyway. So if that's true, then you got to ask yourself, teach people how to think differently. Who here is thinking a little bit different about startups in the 3 stages? You get it? That is important. Because if you're not sure about yourself, how are you going to help that person think differently? So let's just say the person is in hospitality, never picking up after themselves. When a client leaves, they don't clean the table. You want them to think differently. So you need to start first by asking them some questions around, hey, when you're at home and you leave all the dishes all over the place in your home, what happens over time? Rather than, you need to clean that. You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh, well, it gets dirty. Okay. Well, how does that affect you? Oh, not really good, and no. What about the people in your house? You get me? So you're getting them to think bigger through this process. And then what do you think happened to the reputation that you have in your house as a provider, as a wife, as a husband, as a boyfriend, as a la. You get it? You guys getting it? Because character gets influenced, and that's why I'm saying some of you guys are playing a dangerous game, showing up late all the time. I'm African and I show up on time. This is the hardest thing for me to do. But I know the cost to my business. I can't run a business. No one will trust me. You get it? And then what about the connections? Are you going to connect with... Oh, Jennifer is one of these people who doesn't just come on time. She comes early. And I'm always trying to beat her to the meeting. Never happened for how many, a year now? She's insane. But I got... How many minutes was I early? Yeah, I see. She kicked my ass once. I came like 5 minutes later. Oh, don't tell them the truth. It was African time. She was mad. And rightly so. Women, do you like to be waited on by a guy? Waited on? Oh, yeah, you know what I mean. Let me not get myself in trouble. Moving on. So you disconnect from people when you're not consistent on that. And then what's your contribution? So here's the second thing. I've challenged some of you to grow up. I've challenged some of you to serve more. Didn't I do that today? This is the influence model. Because most people, what do? They attack the person with a problem, which implies you're perfect and they're not. This is not influence. This is negative. It's manipulation. It's persuasion. It's all the things that... persuasion is good, actually. It's one of coercion, yeah? That's not good. So you need to kind of inspire people by asking questions like Lisa and I were going through there, which is actually an interview process, but it's actually psychologically painting a picture for them to think different. And then once you get them to acknowledge the impact, then you ask them about the long-term change. Like, what's the impact for you in this job if you keep coming up late? I'll probably lose it. But then what's going to happen on your resume? You see? I'm increasing necessity. Is this making sense? Take a photo to change your life. Took me a long time to find this. But this is, I think, what's missing in the world. I think there's one more. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is good. Who here has been influenced by someone positively in their childhood and you still remember them? Look around the room, guys. Some of us had fucked up childhoods, but there's still one person I remember. The ones laughing know what I'm talking about. Once you know how to do this, Lisa, we have to lead by example. Stop telling your kids what to do. Influence them by saying, hey, listen, I'm showing up on time for us. What are you doing? I'm going to love you down. What are you doing? I'm going to just trust you. What are you doing? Right? I'm going to give you, as you said, energy. You guys don't know how long I've been talking. I've been talking a long time. But there is no way I'll do a shit workshop and be the lower energy. I'm like trying to boom everyone even out the back. People are turning around. I see the lady at the beach. She's like, what the hell is going to come? I'm talking to everybody, everywhere, because I'm influencing everyone to kind of go, wow, this guy's unusual. But I'm role modeling because I need to as a black man because it's 10 times harder to be successful. You hearing me? That's my game. Don't worry about it. But I'm telling you, Obama does this. Martin Luther King did this. Oprah does this. Yes or yes? Okay. So if I see it, I just copy it. What do most people do? Oh, I don't think I need to do that because the world's changed. I'm just like, no, it hasn't. People are people. Is that helpful for everyone? Did I answer your question? Just don't attack. Don't what? Attack is immature. Thank you very much. It's been emotional. Talk to Axel if you need to. Come and see me about one question only, please. I'm like, my brain's not working really well these days. It never has, but it's okay. But thank you. I want to acknowledge you all for investing the time. And this is the first time we've actually finished on time. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you all. Yeah, something like that. All right.
Thank you, Aaron. Big applause for Aaron.